Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this MCTV sports production of high school baseball, the Ocean Division matchup between the Mills Vikings and the Woodside Wildcats on the campus of Mills High School. Hello, everyone. I'm Kenny Milch alongside my broadcast partner, Joe Decker. And Joe, it's a great day for baseball, and it's been a great league season for the Mills Vikings.
Yeah, well, Kenny, these guys faced each other on Tuesday, and Woodside wanted to knock them off the #1 spot in the league and staged a late inning comeback, but Mills ended up winning the game 7-6.
And that helped keep them undefeated in the Ocean Division at 9-0. Overall, they're 10-10. Woodside, on the other hand, 6-3 in the Ocean Division in 4th place, still having a good season, 9-12 overall. Both teams are on the field. As we just do a quick check of the standings, Mills in first once again. Sequoia tied with El Camino for second at 7-2. You got Woodside in fourth, San Mateo in fifth at 3-6, South City, Jefferson, and Westmore. We're about set to go here. Kyle Valens on the hill for the Mills Vikings in their white uniforms, taking on Woodside in their gray, and their leadoff batter is Jordan Benavides. First pitch of the ball game is roped to left center field gap. That's going to fall for a base hit, and one pitch and one hit, and hello, we're underway.
Well, that batter really got up and got that ball, high fastball, sat on it, obviously looking for a first pitch right there because he did not hesitate.
We could have another close ball game. The last 3 meetings, of course, you talked about Tuesday was 7-6. Last year, these two met. They were both one-run games. Woodside won them both. As a matter of fact, Woodside was co-champs in the Ocean Division last year. Here's Shane Stafford, the catcher, wearing number 12, facing Valens. First pitch taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Valens, record this season, 3-4 with a 3.15 ERA. Nice fastball strike on the outside corner. Good heat on that one.
Good heat, very tall out there on the mound. I'd like to see him face a lefty coming up here soon.
Stafford on the season, batting .348. Pickoff attempt. Back, no problem, standing up. Stafford has scored 9 runs, has just 3 RBIs on the season, including a sac fly. And that's taken for a ball, 2-1. The leadoff batter, Benavides, on the season, batting just .208, but he looked a little bit better than that on that first plate appearance. Very aggressive.
No doubt about it.
2-1 count to Stafford, high, down the third baseline, and that is going to be fair, and that's trouble. That's extra bases. Here comes over to third base Benavides. He's in sliding, ball gets away. And Stafford is in with a double, and Woodside in business here in the top of the first, second and third, no outs.
Yeah, well, again, missed that pitch a little bit, threw it inside. Needs to keep the ball down if he wants to have success against this Woodside team.
That'll bring up Brad Degnan. Degnan on the season, .591. Here we go. 13 runs scored, 13 hits, 17 RBIs, 3 doubles, 5 home runs, and his first pitch is taken for a ball. And one of the most interesting notes, just a couple weeks ago against Westmore High School, Degnan tied a state record. Get this, takes ball 2. Okay. Hopefully, folks, you're all sitting down. He hit 3 home runs and had 8 RBIs, not just in a game, Joe, but in 1 inning. Is that possible?
I don't know, but I wouldn't want to be the pitcher in that inning.
So congratulations to Brad, who swings and a miss. And he was going for downtown there.
Well, you look at this guy. He's probably imposing on this pitcher here. He's a big guy, even bigger than the pitcher, who tends to be a big guy himself and takes a pretty nasty looking hack.
And he's just a junior. Takes inside, count goes to 3-1. Our home plate umpire is Dave Stamer, now in 18 years behind the plate. Alex Nash is on the base pass, 4 years approximately umpiring. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's grounded foul down the right field line, and we're going to see a full count here. So Degnan will be tested against the left-hander, and here's that lefty-lefty matchup you're looking for, Joe.
Exactly. So we'll see what he throws here. You know, if I was the pitcher, you got first base open, you might want to throw him something off speed, a little outside, and not worry if he walks, given his potential.
There's a one hopper to second base, fielded nicely by Moshkonian, but that gets the run home. Chalk up another RBI for Degnan, and Woodside is up 1-0.
That's what you need to do in that situation, Kenny. Get that ball either deep in the infield or out to the outfield, and he did it and got the RBI. Now here's another guy who's pretty big.
That's Jamie Kruger. He is the pitcher. He's just a freshman, and he's looking at Valens, and Valens, on the other hand, is a senior.
Well, you look at Woodside, they have 3 freshmen playing on the varsity, a much younger team than Mills, who has no freshmen or sophomores.
Check that, my mistake. Valens is a junior. And that pitch is hit deep to left field, back towards the fence, and it one-hops it. Coming in to score easily is Stafford, and in with a stand-up double is Jamie Kruger. Now let's make it 2-0, the Wildcats.
Well, Kenny, we were just talking about how balls don't fly out of here very easy, and there's a good example of that, because that ball was hit.
Hit very hard and very deep by Jamie Kruger. Did we say he was a freshman?
I think you corrected yourself on that one.
So Valens, the pitcher for Mills, is a junior. No, that batter right there, Jamie Kruger, is a freshman. He'll be on the mound, and he just showed that he's got some talent there at the plate as well. No wonder he's batting cleanup. Not often you have a freshman in the starting lineup, but now this particular freshman is the starting pitcher, and he's batting cleanup. So he must be quite a talent.
Something to look out for over the next few years for sure.
Batting .423 on the season. Second double of the season. Fouled back. This batter is John Mahoney. And I believe we're 0-2 with Mahoney, the shortstop, on the season, batting .310. And just one out here in the first inning on MCTV Sports. Fireworks early. Valens pitches, rope to right field. That's going to drop in. Tried to shorthand. It was McWhirter out there. And he might have caught that ball.
Got him.
He did. What a great catch by McWhirter. I wonder if we have a replay on that. We'll check the truck. We got Jeff McGinnis and Andy Pittman along with our fine MCTV crew. Anyways, McWhirter.
Well, good job running at second base there to hold up and not get doubled off.
Big out. Recorded for Valens. Fastball on the inside, taken 1-0. So 2 down here in the top of the first. Kruger on second. Andrew Holm in the box, batting .353 this season. Ground over to Moshkonian, stays down. Fires over to first. And that's going to be the end of the inning, but there was some noise made by the Woodside offense, and they take a 2-0 lead. We'd like to thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event. The Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit association that promotes and supports outstanding businesses in Millbrae. Local organizations and residents can join, and members receive discounts to local businesses. The Chamber also provides information about great places to dine, shop, and stay when you're in Millbrae. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com or call 697-7324 for more information. Thanks once again to the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Alongside Joe Decker, I'm Kenny Melch here on MCTV Sports. We are now entering the bottom of the first inning. Woodside and Mills. Mills at 9-0, looking for their first league championship since 1995. I checked that. 2005 and 2006. They won back-to-back titles, both under their manager, Tony Adornetto. And in order to do so, Woodside says, hey, we're not going to make it that easy today.
No, and, the first inning shouldn't surprise us. Woodside hitting .331 as a team on the season, and so you've seen that right there. Led by their freshman, who's also their 4-hitter, and now we get to the chance to see him on the mound.
So Kruger. I'm just checking our stats that we had printed out, and don't see any pitching stats. So I think the stats we got were just batting stats for Woodside. We don't have an overall record. But I do know that Kruger was 3-1 in that game against Westmore. That Woodside won 25-6, by the way, where Degnan set that record with 3 homers. Now, in the paper, they put 9 RBIs, so he had 9 RBIs total, but 8 in that one inning. So Kruger's record 3-1. Was that first pitch a ball?
First pitch ball high.
Okay, Derek Wong stepping into the box gets to face the freshman. He'll be the first one to do the honors. Pitch taken low, 2-0. Derek Wong, the left fielder on the season, is batting .218. 5 RBIs, 1 double. Fastball, fouled straight back towards the truck. Look out, Jeff. And it's fouled. Count goes to 2-1. So in that victory over Westmore, Kruger improved to 3-1. So that is his record because that was just last week. And he did not pitch on Tuesday when these two played, taken inside 3-1. So a freshman, a 3-1 record, a nice batting average, nice stroke.
He looks pretty solid, Kenny.
Wong takes a strike, and we're now at a full count.
Nice pitch came into him.
Tony Adornetto, the Mills Viking manager in his 9th year. Looking for his 3rd PAL championship. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down.
He didn't mess around there. He threw it right down the middle, and that just didn't hit it.
That'll bring up Aram Mashkonian, batting 107. And as you remember, just 2 weeks ago, when MCTV was out here in the game against South City, Mashkonian pitched a complete game, and it was a gem. Mills won that game 4-2. Takes a strike, 0-1. Curveball, taken high. Evens account, 1-1. There's that, I believe that might have been the first curveball we've seen so far.
Yeah, it looked a little bit more like a slider, but he kept it up. So we'll see if he could yank that down and keep that down in the zone.
On deck is Espinilla. At the knees, taken low. Always an adjustment period at the beginning to check out the strike zone of different umpires. 2-1's a count. Taken high, 3-1. So he fell behind 3-1 to Wong and came back. See what he does here, the freshman. Mills has won 15 league titles in their history. Looking for number 16. Taken for a strike. Little delayed call on there. Goes to 3-2.
Good call, and there was a reason for that. It looked a little high.
Mashkonian in the dirt. He earned that walk. So Mills has their first base runner, and that'll bring up Sereno Espinilla. Sereno, one of the top hitters, batting .490 this year, is 24 for 49, 9 RBIs, 8 doubles, 3 triples. Having quite a year. Plays shortstop. Facing the freshman. Espinilla, senior captain, 5'10", 140.
Well, we'll see if Mills tries to run it all. They tried 5 times Tuesday against Woodside and only succeeded in getting 2 stolen bases out of those 5 attempts.
On the season, Mashkonian has not stolen a base. Not attempted even once. Fouled back on a high fastball. He takes a nice rip at that. That's a good looking stroke there. He doesn't hold anything back. Sereno Espinilla. facing the freshman Kruger. 1-1 count. Pickoff attempt. Gets away, but not far enough for Mashkonian to advance. Taken low, and he goes ahead 2-1.
Good dig by the catcher. Next one might want to get down on his knees and block that one.
From the stretch, freshman delivers, popped up just behind first base. Coming in is the right fielder, Jednak, and he makes the catch, and Mashkonian goes back to first, so that's the second out.
Well, that was just as planned. You saw the catcher come up in his squat. They were looking to throw him a high fastball. That's what they got, and he popped it up just as planned.
Here's Kyle Valance. Pitcher trying to help out his own cause. On the season, batting .426. And he rips one down the right field line, and that's deep. But getting under it is Jednak. He got a good jump on it right down the line and makes the catch. So a nice shot there by Valance, but maybe a nicer play by Jednak for the third out of the inning. Thanks again to our underwriters for helping MCTV to show local sports in Millbrae. If you're enjoying watching this program or any other programs on MCTV, consider becoming an MCTV underwriter. It's a great way to get and promote your business and show community pride. For more info, contact MCTV at 259-2343, or you can send an email to info@mctv.tv. Got a little typo on my reader there. I'm gonna have to make a little adjustment. Anyways, Kenny Milch along with Joe Decker here, right at field level. It's kind of a nice view from back here.
It's a nice view. Don't feel the breeze too much. I was out on the field earlier, and there's a little bit more of a breeze out there, definitely blowing out to left field.
Once again, Tony Arenetto won championships in 05 and 06. 2007 placed second in the PAL, made it to the CCS semifinals where they lost to Aptos. And speaking of CCS, we were talking about that earlier, and you were looking at some projected seeds of possibilities. And normally the Ocean Division doesn't get a whole lot of respect. They've been number 16 seed most of the time, and they have to face the 1 seed like a St. Francis or something. And this year it could be no different, although maybe a 15.
Well, they are undefeated in league, which helps them. Projections just came out, and they would be in Division II. Just like you said, seeded 15 playing Los Gatos, who would be the 2 seed. Los Gatos historically has had a very good program and very consistent program.
Greg Ramies, the first baseman, is the batter behind 0-1. Outside pitch.
Woodside has some big boys. There's no doubt about that.
Ramies is a junior, batting .269 this year. 13 RBI, second on the team, only behind Degnan. And a 1-1 is fouled off. Took a little something off of that one.
Just enough to make him a little out front. Fouled it off down the left field line.
Here in the second inning, Woodside on top, 2-0. Looking to add to that lead. Ocean Division matchup. Fouled back, count remains 0-2. That was pitch number 20 for Valance. Also plays first base, does the left-hander. And he's a junior. High fastball popped sky high over near the dugout, calling for it and making the catch is Lujan for the first out of the inning.
Not an easy play, especially going near that dugout fence right there, but was able to concentrate on that ball. Very high ball, I might add, and made the catch.
That'll bring up Ryan Jednak, who made those two nice catches out in right field, batting .357 this season. 5 for 14. Not a lot of at-bats for the junior. Takes inside, 1-0.
Well, we'll see if Valens can settle in a little bit here after being roughed up a bit in the first inning.
Valens once again 3-4 this season with a 3.15 ERA, which is not bad for high school.
It's definitely not bad, Kenny.
For any level, maybe.
It's gone up a bit, but again, looks like he's settling down here.
Jednak grounds one through the hole, and it squeezes between the gap for a base hit. Jednak is on with 1 out. Just scooted that through that open alley like you threw it. Couldn't have placed it any better.
Oh, right to the right of the outstretched second baseman. Got that one through.
Matt Hennefarth is the batter. He's a freshman, one of those freshmen you were talking about, Joe. Third baseman, batting .292 this season. Takes inside for a 1-0 count. Hennefarth, 7 for 24, 7 RBIs, 1 double. And he's got Jednak on first, swing and a miss, stepped out a little. Yeah, no, and he just seemed like that front foot kind of stepped out a little bit. One and one. Freshman takes high, 2-1. Taking his lead is Jednak. Valens delivers high again. 2-1.
Had a little bit of zip on that one, but again, a little bit high.
Valens has appeared 9 times this year, so started all 9 of those. Has 2 complete games, popped foul out of play. Count evens up at 2-2. Has 2 shutouts in those 2 complete games. Has pitched 40 innings this season, which is second only to Mashkonian, who has 41 1/3. So they're pretty even. These are their 2 horses. Another foul out of play.
No, he's taken just enough off that fastball to make these hitters a little bit out front. Would like to see him keep it a little bit more down in the zone though.
Here's the 2-2 again. Fouled again to the right side. This is a great battle for Hennefarth, just a freshman.
So far impressed with the freshman that Woodside is bringing out on the field today.
Well, they say if you're going to bring a freshman up to varsity, you got to throw him in there. That's popped up. Second baseman Mashkonian calls for it. He's under it and makes the catch for the second out. But that was a very good at-bat. That was a 7-pitch at-bat for Hennefarth. And winning the battle, or winning the war, if you will, is Valens. So 2 down, and that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Benavidez, who stroked the first pitch of the game for a single, and he scored. He's 1 for 1. Ball, I don't know if Kyle hurt himself on that. Maybe he landed awkwardly. Did you catch that, Joe?
It looks like the coach just put his arm on his elbow, so I don't know if it was a tweak with his arm a little. nonetheless, it's a good time to kind of take a break. Coach comes out, say, hey, let's take a deep breath here. Let's get our composure back, and let's get in there and throw strikes.
Yeah, whatever happened, everybody knew it right away. There was no hesitation. And he's not even going to take a warm-up pitch, so he's going to get right back on the rubber. 1-0 to Benavidez. And he zips a fastball right in there, knee-high strike, evens the count at 1-1.
Comes back with a good pitch.
2 down. Yednak on first. Ground ball to second. Mosconi in. Takes a tricky hop, but stays with it and makes the play. And easy does it. Mills gets out of it. We've completed an inning and a half, but it's the Wildcats on top, 2-0. We were talking a little bit about the manager, Tony Adornetto, for Mills, now in his 9th year and having won 2 PAL titles in 05 and 06. Lives in San Bruno. Class of 1999, was quite a ball player himself back in the day. He won a Frosh Soft Championship in 96 and a varsity championship in 99. Was an all-league and all-county shortstop, batted leadoff, stole a lot of bases, and then scored the most runs in PAL history. So he's getting it done as a manager, and of course, way back when he was a player, he was quite a force.
Well, we have a couple coaches out here with pretty good experience, despite being 2 younger guys. So these 2 programs look like they have a good future ahead of them. Some good coaching.
Tim Faulkner is the Woodside manager, and ironically is also in his 9th year. And it was his first job. He got it at the age of 25, didn't coach any Frosh Soft, didn't coach any other varsity, and has won 2 championships. As a matter of fact, last year, Woodside was co-champs with Sequoia in the Ocean Division. And the CCS lost their first round game to Willow Glen, 6-2, and they were the number 16 seed as a co-champ. And of course, Willow Glen was the number 1 seed in the first round. 2007, Coach Faulkner and Woodside were outright Ocean Division champions and lost to Valley Christian in the CCS. Once again, they were the 16th seed facing the 1 seed. And actually, Valley Christian, he said, was really good that year. They 10-runned them, mercy rule in 5 innings.
Valley Christian is good just about every year, Kenny.
Yeah, and the WCAL with also St. Francis, wonderful program.
St. Francis, Bellarmine, Sarah, a lot of great players to come out of that league.
SI not too bad either?
SI, not as many notable names to come out of SI, unfortunately.
1-1 the count to Michael McWhirter, swing and a miss. McWhirter playing right field, had that great diving catch in the first inning, which helped save a run. Batting .286 this season. Batting here in the number 5 hole in the bottom of the 2nd. Freshman delivers, ground ball over to second. Both second basemen getting some action today, and good hustle down the line is McWhirter, but thrown out by Benavidez, and it's 1 down.
It's like Kruger settling in pretty good here.
Freshman struck out 1. Induced 2 flyouts to right field, and they're a ground out to second. That'll bring up Sean McHugh, the catcher. McHugh batting .267, takes a ball, 1-0. 8 RBIs, 1 double, has hit 1 home run this year. So he's got a little pop. Fouls it back, evens the count at 1-1. And the freshman Kruger from the windup now. Breaking ball. Slots right in there. Nice pitch.
Nice pitch. You saw a little bit of knee buckle by number 13 here, which caught him off guard.
Pitch number 25 for Kruger, who's got an interesting delivery, and time was called by McHugh. If you get a good look here at the pitcher, you can watch his windup. He's kind of spread there, and he kind of squats right before he starts his motion. You see that? 1-2. Up the middle, ground ball to shortstop. Bobbled it is Mahoney, and great hustle down the line is McHugh. That's going to go as an E6, but at this point, Mills will take the base runner.
Mills will take the base runner. It looked like the shortstop took his eye off the ball as he was coming up to throw it and just popped right out of his glove.
A great lesson to all you youngsters out there. You never know. You never know. You hear it from all the coaches, from your parents. Always hustle out to first. That time it paid off for McHugh and the Vikings. They're in business with a runner aboard, 1 down. Here is Michael Wong. Takes high. Count goes to 1-0.
It's a big play because they're at a point in this game where they need some base runners. They need a little action here.
Michael Wong batting .310 this season, 13 for 42, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles. And would like nothing more to move up that runner. From the stretch, Kruger zips one in there, a big cut, 1-1. On the season, McHugh is 2 for 2 stolen bases. See if Adornetto sends his catcher. 1-1 count. Fouled high and back towards the truck again. Missed the truck by about 15 feet. So our director, Jeff McGinnis, and our producer, Andy Pittman, were able to dodge one there, and the truck is still intact. Randy Sahai also I saw earlier. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Nice pitch there by the freshman. He put a little juice on that one, Joe.
Good composure out there. You know, you talked about his windup a bit. I think that what that allows him to do is really bend his legs and have a good push off. And you can see it in his fastball. He gets a little zip on there for a freshman.
From the stretch, Kruger delivers high to Paul Winokur, 1-0, the center fielder for the Vikings. On the season, batting .190, 3 doubles and 2 triples. So out of his 8 hits, 5 of them for the extra base variety, which would be just what the doctor ordered here. Just on the outside corner, evens up the count, 1-1. McHugh still staying over there at first.
Well, what do you think, Ken? You send them, you put a little pressure on this defense, make them play catch, get a guy in running and scoring position?
Depends if you're a gambler by nature. I mean, I've only seen Mills a few times. You kind of got to go with what's been working with you. If they've been aggressive most of the season, then go ahead and send them. If you're relying on that 2-out knock, and especially a guy like Winokur, who's shown he can get extra bases when connecting, you may want to put faith in his bat.
Well, on Tuesday, Whitaker had 3 hits against Woodside, and so definitely is coming up hot right now.
He took a rip at that one. Count evens up at 2-2.
3 for 4, 2 RBIs on Tuesday.
You know, 2-2 might not be a bad spot to send McHugh here. There he goes. In the dirt, got a great pitch, and he's in there. So Adornetto's thinking the same thing. And McHugh got a great jump, and then, of course, a great pitch in the dirt.
Great pitch, nothing the catcher could do there. So let's check out the replay here. And ball in the dirt. Throws it down on a hop. Probably picked that ball up with a bunch of dirt in his hand as well.
And then Winokur with a 3-2 count got caught looking to end the threat. So the stolen base does not pay off. The error does not cost Woodside, and we've completed 2. And it's a Wildcats up 2-0. We would like to thank the Friends of the Millbrae Library for their generous support. The Friends are dedicated to making the Millbrae Library a great place to visit and one of the best libraries in San Mateo County. They also sponsor many interesting community events at the library that are great for both kids and adults. If you'd like information about joining the Friends of the Library, go to millbraelibraryfriends.org or call 697-7607. You are watching and listening to MCTV Sports, expanding our coverage this season. We started last season, added a few different sports. And Joe, this is our last broadcast of the high school season for Mills. And, it's a great opportunity for Mills, the position they've put themselves in. This baseball team at 9-0 has a chance to win a championship.
Chance to win a championship, and must be pretty fun for this group to win, being televised almost every game. I could only imagine as a player in high school, seeing yourself on TV, making plays, hitting the ball. That's what they've been able to do this season.
And it's mainly been in the Ocean Division play, because they're 9-0, but in non-league play, they're 1-10, like you talked about in the Open.
Again, they had a pretty tough preseason schedule.
Shane Stafford, the catcher, steps in and looks at a nice fastball for a strike right at the knees. Stafford 1 for 1, doubled and scored in the first. Takes another strike.
They had a tough preseason schedule, but for good use, they're obviously got them ready for league play, and they're out there #1 in the division.
They played Reardon, Burlingame, Hillsdale. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Valens, and that'll bring up Degnan, that state record holder, or he now shares the record. In the first, he grounded out to second, picked up an RBI. So he's 0 for 1. Strokes one to center field. Coming in at first was Winokur. Now he takes a few steps back, judges it well, and he's under to make the catch. Quickly, 2 down for Valens.
Nice swing, good contact, just right at the center fielder.
So when you talk about Burlingame, Hillsdale, Aragon, Terra Nova, Cappuccino, we're talking about all Bay Division teams from the PAL. Line drive down the line, and that's extra bases again for the freshman Kruger. He is going to be in sliding safely with his second double. This young freshman is pretty impressive, Joe.
Pretty impressive, and doing it all over the field to two hits, not only 2 hits, but 2 ropes to the fence, and pitching a very good game, shutout ball.
Also played Half Moon Bay and Coromont in their preseason schedule. So basically, Mills played all the upper division Bay teams, and that has helped them. It's paid dividends. Here's a line drive, a slow, soft liner. Nice catch by Lujan. Very well done, and that gets Mills out of the inning with no damage. And at the end of 2.5, it's the Woodside Wildcats 2, and the Mills Vikings coming up in the 3rd inning with nothing. Once again, alongside Joe Decker, Kenny Milch, MCTV Sports. We saw an MCTV executive, Gene Hinterman, says hello to everybody. All the stars from MCTV are out today. All the bigwigs here. You've got Gene and Randy and Jeff and Andy. And it's a great celebration for MCTV now, having done Mills High School sports for so many years, and it's really a great thing. We've got a lot of positive feedback and positive response about covering all these different sports now. You know, over the last couple of years, we've done track and swimming and wrestling, and this year we did boys and girls soccer. We just did a softball game last week. This is our second baseball game, and I know I'm forgetting a few other sports, but like you said, it's great for the kids, and the community is really enjoying it.
Kenny, you know, this is my first time doing one of these gigs, and I can tell right off the bat it's a very professional setup. 3 or 4 cameras out here on the field. Very good setup and ready to go right when I got here today. So yeah, this is again for a high school. Man, this is a pretty special thing.
Special is a great word to attribute also to this Vikings team and the opportunity that sits in front of them, not just to win the championship, but try to go undefeated. And when you get towards the end, and right now with just 5 games remaining, things get a little more difficult. You know, the opponent gives it everything they got because they want to be the first to knock them off.
Want to be the first, and you know, you wonder if the looking ahead to playoff times, significant lead in the division. We'll see how they turn it around here today.
Jason Lujan starts off the bottom half of the 3rd inning, looking at ball 1. Lujan, a junior, batting 185 this season. In the 9-hole, Derek Wong on deck, followed by Mashkonian in the hole. Ahead 2-0 against the freshman, Jamie Kruger. Kruger has already struck out 3 and is behind here 2-0.
Big game for Kruger out here. A lot of pressure on him. Seems to be settling.
There's that distinctive delivery. And after falling behind 2-0, he evens it up at 2-2. And you know, the first 2 batters of the game, he fell behind 3-1. He did walk the second batter, but for the most part, he's shown some really good composure and poise for a freshman.
Resiliency had come back on that first hitter.
And he goes full to Lujan. And if you're manager Adornetto here in the 3rd inning, you'd love to start it off with a leadoff walk or just getting on anyway, and then have your top of the lineup. Down 2-0. There's that squat and windup. High, and they got it. So Lujan does his job. And the Mills Vikings had their leadoff runner aboard, and here comes Derek Wong. He did strike out in the 1st. Big left fielder. 0 for 1. The last 3 meetings, once again, between Mills and Woodside. A couple days ago, a 1-run game. Last year, Woodside beat Mills both times, both 1-run games on Woodside's way to a co-championship from the Ocean Division. Squaring to bunt, but taking low is Wong. 1-0 is the count.
Very good eye, looking to get this run right now. Really looking to get some runs on the board. That's what they need. Hitting is contagious, runs are contagious. You could get 1, you might be able to get 2, 3, or 4.
Kruger looks over at Lujan. Squaring to bunt is Wong. He gets it down the right field line. It's going to go foul. A little bit too much mustard on it, and it does go foul. We were talking with the manager, Tony Adornetto, before the game and this matchup and rivalry between Woodside and Mills, and he said, quote, "It's probably going to be another close one. You know, the top 4 in the league are pretty even." Both Woodside and Mills lost about the same amount of players. They both returned about the same. He said, "I'd rather have a close game than a blowout any old day." And his leadoff batter, Derek Wong, squares to bunt, takes outside. Count goes to 2-1.
Well, you have to think he tried to bunt at a second pitch. Count would be 3-0 would be good. See if he can get a strike here.
This could be the big inning that Mills needs to put a couple across. Pickoff attempt. And Lujan is back safely. Here's where the freshman will be tested. Pitch number 45 coming up for Kruger. Wind has died down. Sun is out. He squares the bunt, pulls it back, takes outside. 3-1. So we've got some definite mind games, coaching games, and this is what baseball's all about, Joe.
Not sure if he was looking to slash there or just a little bit of an intimidation factor. But at 2 strikes on him now, has to hit.
Runner goes, high pitch, and the catcher decides to hold on. Well, it's a walk. It's ball 4. The count was 3-1. And so now the Vikings are truly in business. First and second for Moshkonian, who walked in the first inning. And he was left stranded at first.
Those mind games seem to work out in that situation. Got the pitcher a little rattled and got that walk. Now we got first and second. It's on. Let's see what number 6 here can do.
And now you're starting to hear a little bit of noise, a little bit of interest coming from the Mills Vikings bleachers, the dugouts up and standing. You know, they do look loose over there. And we talked to Coach Adornetto before the game also about this year's squad, and that was one of the big things he kept saying. This group is loose. Squaring to bunt, but pulling back is Moshkonian. Count goes to 1-0.
Well, there's nothing like a couple walks to get you motivated, give you a little hope that, hey, if the pitcher gets a little wild, we may be able to score.
Kruger from the belt. Checks the runners and delivers, and a nice bunt done by Moshkonian. He does his job. Both runners move over. It's second and third, 1 down, and here comes Sereno, just what the doctor ordered.
That's just what you want if you're the coach of the Vikings. Get that ball down, get those runners over for your best hitter.
Espinilla just got under one in the first inning and flied out to right field.
Kenny, you do have an open base here. You do have an extremely hot hitter. Might as well be careful.
He comes right after him, and Espinilla fouls it over the right side. That's going to go out of play, 0-1.
Going at him.
No fear for the freshman.
Fear for the freshman. Here we go. Let's see how that works out.
So Mills trailing 2-0 here in the third. 1 down, 2 on, both in scoring position. Takes high and outside. That had good movement, just out of the zone, though. Nice pitch, 1-1.
Sereno hitting 490 on the season. Don't want to get too cute here. Go, Sereno.
On the back of that Mills Vikings helmet, the American flag. Takes, really had to hold back. He looks like he wants it out there.
Wants to hit. He wants 2 RBIs.
And if he were able to pick him up, that would tie the ball game. Great situation right here for the senior captain. Takes a breaking ball. That was a nice pitch. Started over the inner half of the plate, ended up on the outer half, right at the knees. Count goes to 2-2. Going from the windup, the freshman. And it's ripped up the middle. Great piece of hitting. Base hit. 1 run is in, and they decide to hold up Wong at third, and that's why he's batting close to 500 now. Sereno. Espinilla with the RBI, and the Vikings are on the board.
Good execution there by Mills. Sereno got the pitch to hit, drills it right up the middle, scores 1. I think that was a good call on the third base coach not to send him. Would have been a very close play at home. Might as well continue the route.
You got your number 4 hitter coming up. Probably the right call, Joe. Kyle 0 for 1, flied out to right also, but he jumped on that first pitch and it was right down the line. He really got a piece of it. See if he goes first ball again. Yeah, and the freshman remembers and throws one in the dirt, and Sereno goes into second standing, and again it's second and third with 1 down.
Very good block by the catcher, but you see Sereno get a great secondary lead and in position to take second base once he saw that ball in the dirt.
Valens, 12 RBIs on the season, tied for the league lead, or the team lead Ball gets away. Runner's coming in. It's Wong, and they got him. A beautiful, quick play from Stafford, the catcher, on the relay to Kruger, the freshman, and they got him at the plate. Let's take a look at the replay.
Well, that just kills you. You know, the catcher gets a little bit lazy there on not a ball in the dirt, just misses it, but doesn't scoot off far enough, and so they get him at home. Rally killer. Catcher may have got a spike on his knuckle.
So the pitch that was in the dirt was a ball. 2-0 is the count. Moving over to third was Espinilla, so the tying run is just 90 feet away, but a very critical second out for the Vikings and the freshman Kruger. And we may have a change. They're calling for the trainer. So before they actually make the change, they're going to see if the trainer for Mills can help doctor him up.
You know, I think you got to go on that pass ball, but it just happened not to scoot far enough, and pitcher made a heads-up play, got there before the runner, and they made that out. And it's just it's the unfortunate way the ball bounces in baseball.
We talked about how loose this group is in terms of the manager Adornetto and describing his squad for 2013, and he said, quote, "They're a very interesting group. Now, it's something about non-league games, but it's a little different when it comes to league. Since '95, it's the first year that Mills has started 9-0, Coach Adornetto went on to say, quote, "They are loose, they keep things light, and our pitching has been outstanding in league. Everyone we've thrown out there, not just our two big horses." Of course, he's talking about Valens and Moshkonian as the two horses, but it's great when you can get some pitching depth in relief and also in those spot start situations. So it looks like the freshman has been cleaned up and fixed up by the trainer, and we're back in business here, and a great ball game here in the bottom of the third. Vikings down 2-1. One run is in, and the tying run Espinilla is over at third. Kruger delivers low, and Valens is ahead 3-0 with McWhirter on deck. And McWhirter, we said, is tied for the team lead with Valens, the player at the plate, for RBIs. So both guys you want in this spot. Takes high, and Valens is aboard. So now we're in that first and third situation, and that's that old Little League play. Are we going to see Valens take the jump right now? Are they going to try to get him, play conservative? Big situation here if you're a manager Adornetto.
Well, we'll see, and we'll see if the catcher throws down. You know, this catcher, I've been watching him in pregame, and he has very quick hands, very accurate throws down to second. I wouldn't be surprised if they let him throw all the way through and try to get that runner.
Dave Stamer, the home plate umpire, is calling time, and it looks like we got a pinch runner, of course, a courtesy runner for Valens, the pitcher, and they do that in high school. And here's the call from the catcher on what they're going to do in this first and third situation. Try to catch a number on the pinch runner if we can. Nonetheless, McWhirter in a big spot here, grounded out to second his first time up in the second inning. They hold the runner. Chopper over to third. Making the play is Hennefarth, and all of a sudden one quick pitch and the freshman gets out of it, but the Vikings do get on the board. They trail 2-1 at the end of 3 complete. If you'd like to purchase a DVD of today's match or today's game, you can call MCTV at 259-2343. To pick up a DVD that you have ordered, just stop by our office at 621 Magnolia Avenue. MCTV is located below the Jacuzzi Room at City Hall. Make a check or money order for $20 payable to MCTV. If you want the DVD sent by mail, you can fill out our form and write a check or money order for $25. Such a deal.
I'd imagine they'd be hearing from some of the seniors' parents.
Absolutely. Your dad, who we did the game with a month ago, had a great line after we read that promo, and he said, "Great stocking stuffer. Give me about 20 of them."
A little early for Christmas, but get one for each member of the family, and you're done shopping early.
That was a good game we did in March. Your dad, Jim Decker, called the game with us. Moscone pitched brilliant. They beat South City 4-2, and now we've got the son, Joe Decker, and I know your boy Dylan and your other boy just celebrated a birthday the other day.
Well, I got 3 boys, all hit left-handed, throw right-handed, and all 3 birthdays are within the matter of 1 month. So this is birthday season for us. Got my youngest, who's a 3-year-old, got him his first metal bat. So he's going around swinging that at everything he shouldn't be.
Breaking windows?
Okay.
Here we go. Let's start the top half of the 4th. The big lefty Kyle Valens still out on the hill, the junior. Deals, gets ahead of home, 0-1.
The Woodside bats have calmed down a little bit since that exciting first inning.
Home grounded out to second his first time up. That was to end the first inning rally, and like you said, they came out with 2 doubles and a single in their first 3 out of their first 4 batters in the first, and they've just had 2 hits since then. 1 in the second and 1 in the third. Taken high and away, even to count. Pitch number 42 there for Valens so far. McHugh is the catcher, Lujan at third, Espinilla at short, Moscone in second, and Michael Wong over at first. Breaking ball, got him looking. What a beautiful off-speed pitch by Valens.
Right at the knees, Kenny buckled a bit, didn't get that bat off his shoulder, didn't have a chance for it, and rung him up looking.
Second strikeout of the afternoon for Valens. That'll bring up Greg Ramies, fouled out to third base his first time up in the second inning. Big number 25. Fouls one over the right side, giving chase is Michael Wong. He is unable to make the catch. Good hustle nonetheless. I don't know if he would have been able to been credited with the out because he was right on the borderline of in play or out of play.
Looked like he was on the right side of that fence, so I'm not sure, but he did cover some ground and get there pretty good. Tough catch over the shoulder, just missed it. Second chance for number 25.
0-1 to Ramies. Off-speed pitch. Stamer, the home plate umpire, checks with Nash over on the bases, and no swing, says Nash. Count goes to 1-1. Ripped to center field, and that's hit deep. Backing up is Winokur. He's got a beat on it, and Winokur has played perfectly. And Winokur's got great fundamentals out there, and he takes that first step back, he judges it, and he's able to track it down.
Well, he has a lot of room to play with out there. You know, we talked about this before the game. Not a lot of home runs hit here, and so really can take your time going back on a ball, and got right under it and made that catch.
Ball really died out there. It jumped off the bat, and it just does not carry out here in Millbrae, but sometimes that's for the good for the home team. 0-1 to Yednak, singled his first time up in the second. Chopper over to short. Here comes Espinilla, stays down. Good form, good throw, and a good inning for Valens and the Vikings, and they're coming up quickly in the bottom of the fourth, and that's what you love when you're the pitcher, when you're the manager, when you're watching the game, is quick innings on defense, and let's spend a lot of time on offense.
Well, Kenny, you feel a little bit of a momentum shift here. Mills came out and had a pretty good inning last inning. 1-2-3 inning, back on defense, and they're up again, looking for some extra runners like last inning.
Started to get to the freshman. even got him injured on that play, or slightly hurt. But you know, Kruger was able to work his way out of it. A couple situations where he's looking at second and third with one out. Then it was first and third, and you know, all those runners and all that situation, and only one run came across.
Well, you know, Kenny, it's the walks that get you, especially when a team is not necessarily hitting the ball too hard today, giving them hope with extra runners when they don't necessarily deserve it from hitting the ball, wakes them up and, again, changes the momentum of this game.
We talked to Coach Faulkner about his team, and he says he likes them. He says they're young, they're doing well. He's liking where they're headed. He went on to say, quote, he's happy with their growth. Coach Faulkner, end quote. This team looking young, but, you know, we're talking about two loose teams. So even, you know, last year, co-champs for Woodside. This year, Mills has a chance to win a championship. They both lost the same amount of guys. They both returned the same amount of guys. I mean, both coaches are in their 9th year. We're kind of looking at mirror images here.
Mirror images, and obviously these Woodside being a bit younger, they're not intimidated by this #1 Mills team.
Leading off here, the bottom half of the 4th is the catcher, Sean McHugh. He reached on a shortstop error with one out and was stranded there in the 2nd inning. Takes outside.
Now, McHugh had a couple hits, 2 for 4 on Tuesday when these guys faced, but he also had 2 RBIs, put in a double. So he comes in here swinging the stick.
Ripped down the left field line. He swung the stick that time, but just got a little bit ahead of it.
That's Kruger taking just a bit off that fastball to make number 13 a bit out front. A bit early on that.
More similarities between these two teams, and the managers in particular both went to their respective high schools. Faulkner played at Woodside and Adornetto played at Mills.
They must have played against each other.
Very close.
I think one graduated in 97, he said.
Coach Faulkner did.
The other one in 99 or 98?
99.
99, okay.
So
I'm class of 98 out of SI, so I don't think we played either of them.
2-2 to McHugh. Takes outside, and it's going full. And the freshman went full to the leadoff batter last inning. Lujan ended up walking him, and that run scored. Leadoff walks will come back to bite you every time.
There you go.
See what the freshman does here. Low and going down and getting it is McHugh. That's a nice piece of hitting with a full count there.
You know, when a guy's changing speeds as effective as Kruger has been, what you're going to want to do is concentrate your swing on hitting the ball right back up the middle. That will center you to to that off-speed stuff, and he got that fastball and drilled it up the middle.
That'll bring up Michael Wong, batting in the number 7 hole. Struck out swinging his first time up in the 2nd inning. Mills in business once again. Leadoff runner aboard. Takes high and away, 1-0. That was pitch number 65 for Kruger. Vikings last year went 9-5 in the Ocean Division, finished 4th, 15-12 overall. Woodside 11-3 and 16-12. Taking high is Michael. That's 2-0. We talked about those close games last year that both these two played in. The scores were 2-1 and 3-2, and here we are at 2-1. Now, last week, a couple days ago, 7-6, a little bit against the norm, but close nonetheless. Swing and a miss. 2-1 is the count.
Well, Woodside scored 3 runs in the last inning on Tuesday, so it was a lot closer than perhaps you would have known an inning earlier.
Woodside at 6-3 and 4th, trying to poke their nose into the title hunt. Need a victory here. Big swing and a miss from Michael Wong. Count goes to 2-2. Woodside at 6-3 has Sequoia and El Camino right ahead of them at 7-2, and of course Mills on top at 9-0. Anything can happen. There's still 5 games left here in the Ocean Division play. Counting today. Runner takes off, ball gets by. And almost continuing was McHugh. He thought about going to third on the pass ball, but he held up at second. Count goes full 3-2 once again. Pitch count starting to build up.
I think the catcher got a little distracted there, and a good reason. Runner took off before the pitcher even went into his windup, so he had that one without a throw for sure. Almost.
Full count pitch fouled away by Michael Wong, and now it looks like these Mills hitters are showing why they're in first place. They're battling, 3-2, low pitch. McHugh got that base hit right there. Michael Wong went down and got it.
They've been very patient at batting, and that's resulted in several walks. See if they could get a few more here. 3
walks last inning for Kruger, and there's another one, and that is walk number 5 of the game for Kruger, and we've got first and second now for the Vikings, no outs, and that was the same thing they had last inning, first and second, no outs, and they ended up only getting 1. So they got another shot at it here with Winokur, struck out looking to end the second, his first time up. This will be pitch number 71.
You might want to think about getting those 2 runners over with a sack.
Might be a good call. He squares. He's thinking right with you, Joe. And that was a nice pitch to bunt. He pulled the bat back. Maybe it was a fake bunt take, thinking they're a little wild. I don't know.
We've seen that one earlier in the game.
Nonetheless, the count goes to 0-1. Talking about pitch count, usually 90, 100, 110 is okay for high school. So he's starting to get high, and there's a beautiful bunt. They are not going to get him on that, and Kruger fumbles the ball. That is where you want to place it. You can't roll it any better than that.
No, there's no doubt about that. He hit that sweet spot right between the pitcher and the third baseman. Pitcher got a hand on it, but couldn't quite get there. You see this bunt, almost like a, if you didn't know it was a sack, you might have thought it was a drag bunt.
A beauty nonetheless, and the Vikings have the bases juiced for Lujan. He walked and scored the only Mills run. Last inning in the third. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Looking to get to this freshman, and the freshman comes back, Kruger does, with a knee-high fastball. 0-1 gets ahead. We talked about all those runners last inning. There were 3 walks. There was a single, a sack bunt, and they only got 1 out of it. There's a chopper over to second. That'll get 1 run home. Close play at second, and the double play is not in time. So an RBI picked up there for Lujan, and this game is tied, Joe.
There you go. This has been very good execution by the Mills team. Good combination of patient at bats, good combination of small ball bunts. And that time it was just a good at bat, getting that ball into play, getting that ground ball, and scoring that run in a very tight ball game.
Just the first out of the inning, and it's back to the top of the lineup again. Derek Wong here in the 4th inning with his 3rd at bat already. Struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and he was the one who was caught stealing home on the pass ball. And a big rip there, falls behind 0-1. We were talking about rankings. Mills, out of 110 high schools in the Central Coast section, Mills comes into the game ranked 57th according to Max Preps, the greatest high school website ever created. Fouled back 0-2 by Derek Wong.
Max Preps wasn't around when I was playing ball, Kenny.
Oh, wouldn't you have loved it? Would have been on it every night, huh?
Try not to look at the stats.
Was there such thing as the internet back when we went to school? Well, when you did. You're quite a bit younger than I did. Woodside is ranked 70th out of 110 in the CCS. And this game is tied 0-2 count to Wong, 1st and 3rd. In the dirt, nice play there by Stafford. Count goes to 1-2.
Now, is there some formula to come up with those rankings?
They have what's called a Freeman formula. It's based on who you played, what their record is, league champion, league leaders. They got some great formula. I don't question it. I just enjoy it. Rankings are all suspect to conversation. It's
That's
just
a good service.
Yeah, it is. Oh, and that's ripped to left field. A line drive, having a beat on it is home. He makes the play, and both runners are going to have to stay still. So tough luck for Wong. He hit it right on the button, but home had him played perfectly.
Home had him played perfectly. It was a little too short to tag up. The runner on third didn't quite get back to the bag to tag anyway. But here we go. We got 2 outs.
A freshman trying to work his magic and get out of another jam. He did it wonderfully in the third, and here has a chance with Moshkonian at the plate. Runners at the corners. Moshkonian walked in the first and a sac bunt in the third. He'll get to swing it here in the fourth. Kruger from the belt delivers that knee-high strike, and that's what you want to do is if you're on defense, you're on the hill, you want to start with that nice fastball, knee-high strike, get ahead of the hitter. He did that there. 0-1, 2 down, tie score, bottom 4, and another. That's almost a carbon copy of that first pitch, Joe.
That's a good pitch. A little bit low right down the middle, and it's didn't get the bat off the shoulder on that one.
Moshkonian. He's a senior facing a freshman, and the senior fouls it back. Hoping to seize the moment here on MCTV. Has the go-ahead run standing over at third. He sure seized the moment last month in March when he pitched a gem against South City for MCTV. Our viewers enjoyed that victory. Since then, Mills has kept it going. Unbeaten in the Ocean Division. Moshkonian looks at a very close pitch on the outside corner. Boy, that's a tough take, but a good take.
Now, we got a little bit of confusion out here, Kenny. Now, the runner who had stolen second, for some reason, started jogging back to first base despite having the stolen base already complete. They almost snapped a throw back there and got him, but just got under the tag.
And it's second and third. Moshkonian takes in the dirt. Nice stop by Stafford. Count goes to 2-2. So another big at bat for the Vikings. They've had a few of them. They have a chance to take the lead with Lujan at second, Michael Wong at third, and Moshkonian with a 2-2 count, pitch number 6 of this at bat, and number 85 of the game for the freshman. Kruger delivers in the dirt. They're going again. This could be another close play at the plate, and they got him very easily. Stafford gets a great jump behind the dish, and Kruger does a wonderful job of getting to the plate, and they got a great combination there.
Well, that's a tough ball to pluck. That was way outside. Ball skipped off to the side all the way down to the backstop, and again, second time, killed the rally. Could have used that run, but unfortunately didn't get it.
So Jamie Kruger, the freshman for Woodside, somehow has gotten some way, Joe. I don't quite know how. Maybe while I read this commercial reader, you can try to figure out how he has gotten out of the last 2 innings, only giving up 2 runs. Many thanks go to the Magnolia of Millbrae for co-sponsoring this event. The Magnolia of Millbrae is a welcoming place for seniors who want luxurious living conditions with a swimming pool, fine dining, and a gated covered parking garage. For more information, please contact themagnolia.com or call 697-7700, or you can call toll-free 1-888-860-6915. Kenny Milch alongside Joe Decker here on MCTV Sports. A 2-2 ball game, and Joe, you've had a little moment to try to think about it. How has Kruger gotten out of these last 2 innings with all the walks and base running and situations?
Well, Kenny, you know, there's no magic answer to how he got out of it other than just a little bit of luck. You know, you see these two pass balls, two balls that you would think would be beneficial for the Mills team. That's 2 runs, and they just didn't scoot back far enough towards the backstop, and they got them both out at home plate. Whenever you get 2 outs at home plate in tight ball games like that, that just kills you.
And credit to the Woodside battery. Squaring to bunt there is Hennefarth, and he's behind 0-1. Starting to get a little chilly. It was just hot, and now all of a sudden the trees have started to shade our little table and booth spot here. I'm going to have to put on the jacket. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Meanwhile, we can't forget about what Valens has done after giving up 2 runs in the first, has very much settled down, and the last 3 innings have goose eggs, and he's ahead 0-2 here.
The Hennefarth here, a freshman, not as much discipline at the plate as you would hope for, but you would expect from a freshman.
Popped out to second. Had a decent battle, a 7-pitch at bat there in the second inning when he popped out. Down behind 1-2. Pitch number 53 for Valens here. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Strikeout number 3 for Kyle.
Well, Valens really settling in here. He had that rough first inning, and not much has happened since.
We talk about the CCS rankings. How about rankings in the state of California? 1,240 high schools that have baseball teams in California, and Mills is right around the middle, 645. Here's a high pop fly by Benavidez, a leadoff hitter. Under it is, everyone's screaming. I believe he caught it. What happened there?
He caught it, and then he dropped it, and then he caught it again.
But the runner is safe. Benavidez is?
Then he dropped it again.
Okay, and we were shielded by the catcher and home plate umpire. It looked like he was under it, but somehow Michael Wong, the first baseman, had the ball pop out. The wind did start to pick up, and shadows are out there. I don't know. But nonetheless, Benavidez is on with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Taken for a strike, Stafford, the catcher. Behind 0-1, he is 1 for 2, doubled in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Pickoff attempt from Valens, and Benavidez is back.
Well, that's the type of stuff that you need if you're Woodside. You catch a break here, catch a break there. They've certainly been catching some breaks on defense, and now they're catching them on offense.
Valens still means business, 0-2. Really limiting his pitch count. This is number 57. Ground ball down the line, and that's fair. That could be trouble. Heading over to third is Benavidez, and he's going to be in sliding. They throw to second, but getting in there is Stafford, and he's got himself a double, second and third with 1 out. And this is one of those situations you really hope that error doesn't come back to bite you.
Oh, that's what I was just talking about. When you can capitalize on a ball bouncing your way, that could be a momentum shifter. We've seen that earlier with Mills, momentum shifting on their way, and it might be coming back to Woodside with their best hitter up.
Brad Degnan, 0 for 2, grounded out to second, picked up an RBI in the first inning. In the third inning, flied out to center field. And here in the 5th, he's got second and third, and he takes high and away, 1-0.
It seems like every time he comes up, it's second and third, no one on first. And I say the same exact thing, which is got a base to play with.
Has that open stance on low outside corner. That's a nice spot for Valens. Count evens up at 1-1, coming up pitch number 60. From the windup. Same exact spot. Count goes to 1-2. Another nice pitch by Valens.
You want to pull that ball if you're Degnan. Get that guy from third in or hit a fly ball to the outfield.
Open stance. In the dirt. Nice block there by McHugh. takes one for the team off the chest protector. Count goes to 2-2. And in case you're just tuning in and joining us here on MCTV Sports, the batter at the plate, Brad Degnan, tied a state record a couple weeks ago against Westmore High School by hitting 3 homers and collecting 8 RBIs in 1 inning, and he fouls the 2-2 pitch away.
Now, if you're Degnan, this is the situation you definitely want to be in. You got infield in, which means you have a little bit of room to work with. As long as you hit a hard ground ball or a fly ball to the outfield, you're going to score that run on.
Just one down. In the dirt, got him swinging. Got the state record holder there, Joe.
It was a good pitch in the dirt, you know. That's exactly what you want to do when you got an open base. You got their best hitter up, throw it in the dirt. Hopefully he'll fish for it, and that's what they got.
And here comes the pitching coach for the Vikings out to talk to Valens, and up at the plate is the freshman Kruger, who is 2 for 2. He's got 2 doubles, both of them first ball. I think that's what your pitching coach for Mills is going to tell him. Hey, this freshman is aggressively looking first ball fastball, and he's got 2 doubles on 2 pitches. We may want to try to change things up, maybe go first pitch off speed, go outside, inside.
Well, you've never been more motivated if you're number 20 freshman right now, because you're on the mound. You can help yourself out with an RBI and get the win all at once.
Top of the 5th. They go 7 in high school, just in case you were wondering. There's Valens. Breaking ball, and he did start it off with a breaking ball in the dirt.
And that's a good pitch with a freshman at bat. 9 times out of 10, you might get that guy fishing.
Valens Jr. facing the freshman. Fastball chopped over the middle. This is going to be a tough play for Espinilla. He's going to have to get rid of it quick. And he got him. Very well done by the senior.
Well, you see that ball chopped. He has to make that quick throw. You have to wonder, Kenny, if he didn't slide into first base and he ran through that bag, if it would have been a little bit closer, if he might have been called safe. Again, there's another lesson for you young ball players out there. The only time you really want to slide into first base is if it's a high throw. You can slide underneath that tag. But all else equal, if it's a throw on the money, you want to run through. That's your fastest way through that first base.
You know, I've seen on sports science on television, they do those great studies, and they've done one on sliding into first base. And Joe, you make a great point. It takes longer to get to first if you slide, yet some ball players, they'll still do it.
It's just maybe it's a natural, close play, you got to slide. It's a natural inclination, but again, you got to force yourself to run through that bag hard.
Another sports science baseball segment I've seen is one on donuts on bats for warm-up swings, and the study says that it does not help increase your bat speed by swinging a donut in warm-ups.
Oh, Kenny, that's news to me. I never heard about that one. That's an age-old piece of baseball. You could probably find donuts from the early 1900s. But they didn't have sports science back then either.
That's right. And we're not talking about glazed or sugar donuts either. We're talking about those things that go on the end of the bat. They're like little weights for those of you viewers who are not familiar with what we're talking about. But
now they come in sleeves.
That's right.
How they go on the bat. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
And there's bat warmers. Geez, they got every bat rollers. And they're all expensive, too.
They are.
With 3 boys, I'm sure you know.
I buy them.
Aram Mashkonian here in the bottom half of the 5th starts things off. And the freshman, Jamie Kruger, in this tie ball game, gets behind again. He's walked the leadoff batter. He's actually walked 5 batters, Kruger has, and that was pitch number 87 in the dirt behind 2-0. And at this point in the game, you start thinking a little bit about fatigue here.
Just still a little shocked that it's 2-2 going back to our earlier conversation. It feels like it's a little bit more 5-5. But a lot of runners stranded on base, particularly on second and third.
And we talked about the magic of Kruger. We just saw some magic from Valens as well. Fastball taken inside, count goes to 2-1. You know, you look at the situation that Kyle just got out of, you know, second and third with one out. Didn't get rattled after the error, and he's able to strike out Degnan, the state record holder, and then he gets the ground out. Nice play by Espinilla, and he worked his way out. 3-1 to Mosconian. Number 6 plays infield, pitches, plays outfield, a senior, and he takes ball 4. So for the third straight inning, Mills has their leadoff batter aboard, and here comes Espinilla.
And those leadoff walks, you know, we talk about walks killing you. Leadoff walks particularly kill you. But has not resulted in two main runners crossing the plate, fortunately for Woodside.
And the pitching coach goes out to talk to the freshman before he delivers pitch number 90 to Sereno. Espinilla fly to right in the first and had a wonderful RBI base hit in a clutch situation in the third to get Mills on the board, and now comes up here in the 5th with a runner aboard and nobody out in a tie ball game. And, you know, it's like Coach Adornetto said before the game, he'll take a close game any old day over a blowout. He's got it here, and this is great baseball.
He has his best hitter up in a good situation.
Oh, and he takes it deep to left center field. That's back to the fence. Going back on it is home, and it's off the fence for extra bases. Coming around to score is Mosconian, and Mills takes the lead. And just like you said, Joe, he's got the right batter, right man, right spot, just like they say.
Well, he got that pitch a little up, and he's been looking to hit all day, and he got that pitch. Hit it against the wall. And again, not an easy one to get out of here. And we saw that there. That was an absolute bomb, and it hit the base of the fence.
The senior coming through on MCTV Sports. Mills leads 3-2, and here comes a junior, Valens. And boy, he's loving this after working his way out of the magical inning last inning with the help of Espinilla at short. Now all of a sudden he comes to the plate with the lead. He's 0 for 1. He walked in the third and flied out to right in the first. And he grounds one back to the pitcher. Kruger checks the runner and makes a wild throw, and you know, he just took his eye off of Espinilla too quickly, because when he looked at him, Espinilla took off. They could have got him.
Well, he checked the runner for a reason, yet he threw to first. Yeah, and I think he did take his eye off of him too quick. I guess he just didn't expect him to be off so far.
Nonetheless, Kruger got the out, the first out of the inning. Espinilla moves over to third for Michael McWhirter. He's 0 for 2, grounded to second in the second, and grounded to third in the third. Chops one over to third. Runner comes, he gets the RBI. He's out, and now Mills has a 2-run lead at 4-2.
Well, that ball was sure chopped pretty high. If it was a bit lower, might have had a chance to throw that ball home to get Sereno, but it was just a bit too high and got the job done that way.
The last 3 batters have been first ball swinging. Pitch count now is going to be at 93. Here's McHugh, reached on the shortstop error in the second and singled and scored in the fourth. High fastball, count goes to 1-0, and this freshman is starting to approach the century mark in terms of number of pitches thrown.
Got to think fatigue starts setting in. You see that one really didn't come through the ball, maybe because his legs are getting a little bit tired.
High fly ball to right field. Getting under it is Jednak, and Jednak in foul ground makes the catch for the third out to end the inning, but the damage is done. Mills fell behind in the first 2-0, but they've shown some great resiliency, Joe, and they now lead 4-2 as we head to the 6th. If you've missed any of today's game, or you know someone who might like to watch it later, you can catch replays on MCTV. please check out MCTV's program schedule at mctv.tv for more information. So we head to the top half of the 6th inning, 4-2. And Joe, this has really been a treat watching this game and this Mills team, and we can see why they're 9-0 heading for a league championship.
Well, they're playing with confidence, and they've been knocking on the door all game, not quite able to break it open, but you see their attitude out there, and you kind of have a sense that at some point, you know, the ball's going to bounce in their favor. And they're finally able to take advantage of the opportunity last inning.
Valens still out on the hill. Will be facing the 5, 6, 7 batters of the Wildcats in Mahoney, Home, and Ramies. After 2 runs allowed in the first, Valens has 4 straight shutdown innings. The junior has struck out 3 batters. Check that, 4. Mahoney, the shortstop, steps in. Lined out to right when McWhirter made that diving catch in the first inning. Curveball headed right towards him, and he fouled it off, and it fouled right into his own leg, and he tried to deke the umpire into trying to get a base out of that. And Dave Stamer, the home plate blue, was having no part of that.
None of that.
So Valens gets ahead 0-1. Fouled back, now he's ahead 0-2. Has not thrown a ball yet to Mahoney now in his 3rd at bat. He was ahead 0-2 in the first when Mahoney lined out to right, and then Mahoney, first ball swinging, hit a soft liner to 3rd, and that's 3 straight strikes now as Mahoney fouls that one off. So 6 straight strikes to Mahoney, and Valens is right in the zone.
Valens playing with some confidence right now. Finally has the lead and wants to cruise the rest of the way. Hopefully he can.
Fouled off again. Valens has no walks today.
You know, that, Kenny, that's a good point. That, to this point, has been the difference maker in this game, whereas Woodside has seen, no, I don't know, I don't have the official count, 5 or 6 walks, which has led to some big runs.
That was the first ball thrown to Mahoney in 3 at-bats. This will be the 6th pitch. Count is 1-2. No outs here in the 6th. Mills looking to go to 10-0 in the Ocean Division. After today, just 4 games left. Here's a chopper over to 3rd. Lujan lets it get by and trying to go to 2nd. No, holding up at 1st. The 3rd base coach, the manager of Woodside, was trying to send his runner, but deciding to hold up as Mahoney. And on the leadoff air, Mahoney's aboard.
Well, Lujan got handcuffed a little bit there because he waited back instead of charging that ball. And anytime you do that, you let the ball dictate the hop it wants to give you, and you not dictating what you want to get to the ball.
First pitch is high to Andrew Holm. 0 for 2, grounded out to 2nd in the first and struck out looking to lead off the 4th. Valens gonna have to work out of a jam here. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. There you can see Holm in the shadows, but still wearing the shades.
Must be good luck.
Oh, he's got him. Great move by Valens, and we got a pickle. And Mahoney is dead meat, but still lasting a lot longer than you want. Should be only 2 to 3 throws, and it's too many. You're asking for trouble, but they're able to get him. Now, you know about those pickles, Joe. 2, maybe 3 throws max. That was more like 6 or 7.
Max, and rule of thumb, you want to run that base runner back to first base as opposed to giving him an opportunity to get to second. They happened to get him out, but they did give him that opportunity to run him back to second base. 6 or 7 throws on that one, Kenny.
Nonetheless, they get the out, and another tip for you youngsters, everybody get involved in the pickle. And Valens did that, and he did not hesitate. Count is 1 and 2. Right when he saw the pickle, he had it picked off. It was a brilliant move. Then he ran right over to first, and he was one of the guys that made a couple of those pickle throws. That's a lot of fun. You work on that since you were, 7, 8 years old, and here they are, 16, 17, 18, still doing it here on MCTV in a big spot. Valens wanted that 1-2 pitch, didn't get it. It goes to 2-2 to home, still in the batter's box. Valens just 5 outs away from advancing Mills to 10-0, and there's a hard grounder over to second. Nice fundamental by Moshkonian, and all of a sudden we got 2 down, Joe.
Well, that pickoff right there really hurt Woodside. They finally get a base runner a chance to do something, and it hurts you.
Very difficult to read a left-hander's pickoff move, and Valens has a good one.
Sure, and I don't think he was stealing, but there's a couple ways to do it. One, you might want to have a little back step to first base, and then take your lead, just to be safe, and did not do that. He was not stealing, took his step to the right side instead, and got picked for it.
Huge play for the Vikings. Here's Greg Ramey's the big first baseman. Takes a strike, 0-1, 0 for 2. Fouled out to third in the second, lined out to center in the fourth. Comes up here with 2 down. Valens just 4 outs away from the win. Swing and a miss. He gets ahead 0-2. Valens has done that a lot today. He's gotten ahead of the hitters. He's been around the zone. Once again, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And he's been pretty impressive. High fastball grounded to Espinilla, and he fundamentally scoops it up. Throws a little low, but gets the job done. 3 outs. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th, and the Vikings leading 4-2. Just a reminder, if you'd like to purchase a DVD of today's game, call MCTV at 259-2343. To pick up a DVD that you have ordered, stop by our office at 621 Magnolia Avenue. MCTV is located below the Jacuzzi Room at City Hall, and you can make a check or money order for $20 payable to MCTV. If you want the DVD sent by mail, you can fill out our form and write a check or money order for $25. Take this opportunity to recognize our fine MCTV crew, led today by our director, Jeff McGinnis. Our producer is Andy Pittman. Engineer, Randy Sahai. Our 3 camera operators are Andy Chan, Jasper Shue, and Doug Smith. Audio, Kevin Lean. And replay, Sunday Shinoda. So here on MCTV Sports, we want to thank all of the volunteers. And
sounds like an all-star team, Kenny.
there you go. We ought to get them some awards.
We got a new pitcher on the mound. Did mention the freshman Kruger, throwing close to 100 pitches.
Ryan Yednak moves over from right field and jumps onto the hill. So he will inherit a 2-run deficit here in the bottom of the 6th. And Kruger goes over to right field. That was a look at your left fielder, Andrew Home. And there's Redknapp. Let's see if we can catch the book on Redknapp as Michael Wong steps in. That's right, we have no pitching stats.
We have no pitching stats
For our visiting team, Woodside. And just the batting stats today. We did know that Kruger came into the game with a 3-1 record as Wong takes high 1-0. And he leaves after 5 complete. He allowed 4 runs. Struck out 3. Chopper over to third. Nice play by Hennefarth. And there's 1 down here in the 6th. Overall, I'd have to say, Joe, that the freshman Jamie Kruger was very impressive, not only at the plate with those 2 doubles, but on the hill. There's a bright future ahead for that young man.
Bright future, and it's not an easy situation to come in as a freshman facing the #1 team, Mills. But he did. He muscled through it, faced some turmoil, and got out of it with a chance for his team to come back here, down 4-2.
Winokur steps in, gets ahead 2-0. Yednak, tall, lanky, right-hander. And he's a junior. Winokur, center fielder, takes in the dirt. He's ahead 3-0. Winokur, a very fine center fielder at that, has made a couple nice catches out there in the outfield. He is 1 for 2. Struck out looking in the 2nd and got that beautiful bunt single in the 4th. And he takes 4 straight pitches, and he's aboard with a walk, and that is the 6th walk overall issued from Woodside. 5 of them were credited to Kruger. That's Yednak's first, and here comes Lujan.
And a leadoff walk again, Kenny. Put in runners on base, not making them quite earn it.
Lujan chops one over to short, possible double play ball, and he's safe. And the runner at first is also safe. So it was hit just slow enough to where the speed of Winokur kicked in there.
And again, Mills continues to get a couple breaks here. The leadoff walk definitely helping them in this situation, and that hit just being a little bit light for end of second base.
So it goes down, as a fielder's choice, and it's first and second with 1 down, and Derek Wong back at the top of the order steps in. Mills back in business again. Nice play by Stafford. He's done a nice job behind the dish.
Hasn't been easy either. There's been a lot of balls in the dirt. He's done a pretty good job of keeping them in front.
And has been able to get on 2 pass balls and get 2 runners trying to score from third. Takes a strike. 1-1 to Derek Wong, who is 0 for 2, struck out in the first, walked in the third. He was one of those runners who got thrown out at the plate trying to steal and also lined out to left field. And he pops this one to third base, and Hennefarth is underneath, and Hennefarth makes the catch for the second out. Runners hold at first and second. That'll bring up Moshkonian. Moshkonian is 0 for 0. He's had 3 plate appearances, but he has 2 walks, scored a run in the 5th, and he had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. So even though he hasn't done a ton of damage in terms of extra base hits, he's been pretty solid over at second, and he's reached base twice, and he moved a runner over, and of course he had that great pitching performance the other day. There's a ground ball in the hole. Nice play by Hennefarth, and Hennefarth gets out of it. So I was just about to say that Moshkonian really loves performing for MCTV Sports. That's the 3rd out of the inning. And it's still 4-2 as we head to the 7th, and we'll see if Valens heads out there for the complete game. He's thrown a total of 79 pitches in 6 innings, so he's well below the limit. Allowed those 2 runs in the first, but has had 5 shutdown innings since, and there he is, out to the bump.
A pretty impressive outing by this young man, particularly bouncing back from that first inning and really settled down. And as you said, very good control, throwing the ball with command, and getting these Woodside batters just a bit off balance.
If Mills is able to hold on, upcoming next week at Sequoia on Tuesday, and then hosting Sequoia on Thursday. And as we mentioned a couple times, Sequoia tied for second at 7-2 before today. So next week, it doesn't get much easier.
That's a big game for him.
Now, Mills ends the season with 2 against Westmore, and you talk about Mills having a chance to go to 10-0 with a win today. Westmore is 0-10 in the Ocean, so you would assume they would be able to take care of business there. So really, the championship is Tuesday and Thursday next week, starting at Sequoia, visiting the Cherokees.
Should be an exciting one.
Still having to take care of business here in the 7th are these Vikings, and Valens is the guy who wants the ball. He's got the ball and is going to throw pitch number 80. And he's facing a pinch hitter, looks like.
Freshman.
Joe Arson.
Here's the 3rd freshman we've seen for Woodside, the 3rd on the team. Again, a younger Woodside team. And we'll see how this freshman comes in off the bench to pinch hit. Not an easy task, Kenny.
Against Valens, who has been dealing, and he took a little off of that one. Evens the count at 1-1. His control today has been excellent. He's mixed up his pitches. He's thrown heat when he needs it. And just like there, nice change of speeds. That second pitch took a little off, and that one he zipped right in there. Count goes to 1-2 against Arson. Like you said, Joe, tough spot here for a freshman. But getting an opportunity and a breaking ball, and everybody in the bleachers thought it was going to be a called strike 3. Just missed.
Just missed, just a bit high. Agree with the call, though. Again, we'll see number 3 here, freshman, see what he can do. 2 strikes.
2-2. Fastball up the middle, base hit. And if you're Valens and all of Mills, you're thinking, gosh, I really wanted that 1-2 pitch.
And Arson, who again, being a freshman, hung in there. Starting to get cold here at the yard, and coming off the bench in the last inning in a pinch hit situation, being a freshman against the number 1 team, Mills. Not an easy task, and has a good at bat and hits a line drive up the middle.
I think I heard someone for the bleachers yell, ring up that freshman, Blue. Taken high for a ball to Hennefarth. And Hennefarth, 0 for 2, popped to second in the 2nd and struck out swinging in the 5th. Leadoff runner aboard for Woodside, taken for a strike, 1-1. And so nothing easy. Gonna have to work his way out of this one to collect win number 10 of the Ocean Division.
Well, his command is still there and on point, so as long as you're not walking, let him hit the ball and see what happens.
Fouled back, count goes to 1-2. Humped up a little bit on that fastball. Talk about freshmen, here's another freshman, Hennefarth. Open stance. I noticed a few of these batters with that style. Valens, inside corner. That time he rung up the freshman, Joe.
Umpire didn't miss that one. Got a second chance with another freshman at bat and got him looking.
1 down.
See the first base coach, bad body language, saying, oh man, we got a freshman up at bat.
Strikeout number 5 for Valens. Here's Benavidez, the leadoff batter. Takes a strike. Benavidez is 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the 1st, grounded out to second in the 2nd, and reached on an error in the 5th. Was left stranded when Valens worked his magic to get out of that 5th inning jam. Fouled back. Count goes to 0-2. Once again, Kyle ahead 0-2, Joe.
Oh, too, and he's really been able to get ahead on these batters, which is really putting the batters in difficult situations, having to shorten up their swings and just kind of make contact, which has limited their hitting.
Fastball chopped over to first, have a beat on it as Wong back to second for the double play attempt. No, ball gets away. Trying to scoot over to third is Arson, and he does so, and 2 outs. Tough play to double up in that situation. A slow chopper.
Tough play. You might want to eat it in that situation. Not sure he had the play. Good heads-up play by the freshman to take third on that. But again, it has to go back with the pitcher getting ahead of the count, making these batters take real kind of reduced tight swings because they got 2 strikes on them.
If Shane Stafford, the number 2 hitter, is able to get aboard, we could see another epic matchup between Degnan and Valens. But Stafford's got to reach first, and he falls behind 0-1. There are 2 outs, so Valens just 1 out away from helping Mills reach win number 10 in the Ocean Division and remain undefeated. Taken low and inside, count goes to 1-1. Stafford, the catcher, has had a wonderful afternoon. 2 for 3, has doubled twice, scored a run, and struck out in the third.
That being said, you want to go at him. You got a big hitter on deck.
And the lefty deals, and it's fouled back, and Valens is ahead 1-2. Like they say, that runner at third, which is the freshman Arson, does not matter in this situation up by 2. All focus goes to Stafford, who's in that batter's box. Valens delivers outside, 2-2. Nice little crowd out today. Everyone on the edge of their bleacher. These fans have enjoyed a wonderful season by the Vikings. Ground ball just foul down to third baseline, and we'll have another pitch. Pitch number 6 of this at bat. Pitch number 97 on the game for Valens, approaching the century mark. 2-2 to Stafford. Valens delivers. Off-speed pitch inside, and the count, of course, Joe, is going to go full.
Good command on that ball. That's the ball you want to pitch in that particular situation. Not a very hittable ball.
Valens, chopper over to third. Lujan takes the hop, throws to first, and the Vikings have won another. Final score, 4-2. A very impressive performance by the young Vikings and their left-handed hurler, Kyle Valens.
It's a great game, Kenny. Now we see again why Mills is number 1 in this league. Playing with confidence, behind a good pitcher, hit the ball, took advantage of situations, and didn't give up.
And Coach Adornetto said before the game, this group is loose. They stayed loose. They fell behind 2-0, and it did not faze them, not one bit. Their lefty had 6 straight shutdown innings after that. The bats came alive, even though they weren't able to get a couple runs across when they should have. They stayed within themselves and were able to pull it out in the end.
Again, Kenny, great game. Great day to be out here at the ballpark on a weekday. Look forward to next week.
We want to thank our audience. It's our last sports production of the 2012-13 year, and we want to invite you, of course, to join us next year for more expanded local sports coverage here on MCTV Sports. Once again, our director today was Jeff McGinnis. We want to thank everybody on our entire MCTV Sports crew. Alongside Joe Decker, I am Kenny Mills saying so long for the final time of 2013, and it's the Mills Vikings improving their Ocean Division record to 10-0. They're just 4 wins away from going undefeated and winning the Ocean Division Championship. We'd like to say goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you next year, and good luck to the Baseball Vikings.